we'll see an amazing treatment that changed this boy from a couch potato into a top student. Every waking second, without even realizing it, our mind is at work learning about the world about us. But our capacity to learn is even greater than we think. By discovering how our mind works, we can improve our learning power and unlock our true potential. Learning something new means rearranging the way her brain works. Our brain has an astonishing 100 billion neurons, or brain cells, all connected together. Learning is about creating and strengthening pathways through these neurons for impulses of electricity. But between each and every connection in our brains, there's a tiny gap called a synapse. For any of us to learn something new, the electrical signal has to jump across this gap to continue its journey. The gap between the two brain cells is tiny, but that doesn't mean it's straightforward for a signal to get from one side to the other. For us, it's like crossing a deep ravine. And getting from one side to the other should tell us something about the way we learn. The first time a signal crosses from one brain cell to the other demands the most effort, and it's the same when we cross our ravine. The first trip across is the hardest. Having crossed the ravine once, the journeys across get easier and easier. And a similar thing happens when we learn something. To start with, learning is difficult. As the signal crosses the gap between the brain cells again and again, we establish a more solid pathway. Sorry about that. By the time we've made the crossing over and over again, it becomes effortless. We can do it whenever we like. Finally learned something. And scientists believe that for many of us, they've found a surprising way to do just that. Meet Elliot. Last year, his school teacher said of him,
"Elliot's memory seems to be letting him down and could be improved."
Elliot's reading and writing aren't what they should be.
Elliot is a nice boy, but he finds it hard to concentrate.
He used to just come home and sit in front of the TV. Trying to get homework out of him was a chore.
And in particular had great difficulty committing himself to paper.
I wasn't really quite struck by lessons. I thought most of them were quite boring. When I came home, I just took my shoes off, dumped my bag, took my coat off, slunk into the settee and turned on the telly.
But this year, something remarkable happened to Elliot. Elliot was selected for a scientifically controlled trial run by Oxford University at schools in County Durham. The children chosen were behind in class in some subjects. In the trial, the children took 6 tablets every day. The scientists wanted to see if the tablets could improve the way the children learnt, how well they concentrated and remembered in class. And after only a few weeks, parents and teachers began to notice an extraordinary difference.
It's absolutely amazing. After Elliot started taking the tablets, the first 2 or 3 months, he was more interested in work. He'd go to the library. Not so much interested in the TV.
It's been marvellous to see the actual changes that have happened in Elliot. His reading has really rocketed. I think it's 2 years improvement in reading age, and so his desire to read has really improved, and he's devouring books, really.
Now I'm not so interested in the TV, I just like reading books, and the best place in all the world is the library. I absolutely love it.
And it wasn't just Elliot. Many of the children in the trial taking the same tablets showed a big improvement in reading, memory and concentration. The results confirm the findings of previous studies. So what is the ingredient?